Assalamualaikum ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PD Talk Series 2.0 Get Hired or Stay Jobless. This PD Talk Series 2.0 are conducted by final year student of Hotel and Tourism Management managed by Madam Azwin Aksan, our beloved advisor of professional development subject. Our special guest speaker is Dato Rosthman Ibrahim, owner of LaCrista Hotel Melaka. LaCrista Hotel Melaka, before this known as Avalon Legacy Hotel, have rebranding their hotel to LaCrista Hotel. While streaming on our PD Talk series, do follow Travel Trove on Instagram as there are many information that have been shared on the platform. So guys, please stay tuned until the end. Assalamualaikum and very good morning everyone. Welcome to PD Talk Series 2.0. Okay, pertama sekali saya ingin ucapkan selamat datang kepada penasihat program kita, Puan Azwin Aksan, our guest speaker Dato Rosthman Ibrahim dan juga lecturer kita yang sudi hari ini join kita, Puan Fadilah Zainal binti Zainal Abidin, dan tak lupa juga kepada partisipan kita yang pagi-pagi ni lagi dah sudi bersama-sama kita untuk memeriahkan lagi PD Talk Series kita pada hari ini. Hi, my name is Natasya Norazny. So today I will be the host for today dan saya juga merupakan pelajar tahun akhir bagi Fakulti Pengurusan Hotel dan Pelancongan. And I hope you guys hari ini boleh enjoy our talk, okay? Okay, sebelum kita melangkah jauh, saya ingin berikan sedikit informasi mengenai talk kita pada hari ini. Okey, kalau kita tengok situasi sekarang ni mengenai pandemik COVID-19, industri pelancongan merupakan salah satu industri yang terjejas dan terkesan. Okey, sebagai contohnya lah, kita boleh tengok industri kita sekarang ni lebih banyak buang pekerja daripada ambil ataupun rekrut pekerja. So ini adalah merupakan salah satu masalah yang bakal dihadapi oleh bakal graduan kita pada tahun 2020 nanti. Jadi kat sini kita nak kupas, ada tak chance for the graduation to be hired or maybe diorang akan stay jobless after diorang grad nanti. Okay, soalannya kat sini kita akan kupas lebih lanjut bersama rakan-rakan saya sebentar lagi. Now without further ado, I would like to pass our talk session today to Miss Syafiqah Nabilah.
Thank you Natasha for inviting me. Assalamualaikum, very good morning Ibid, to our program advisor Puan Azwin Aksan, our guest speaker Dato Rosthman Ibrahim, our lecturers Madam Fadilah, and to all participants that have joined our talk session for today. We as a team feel very grateful for your time and your support. I'll try my best to moderate this talk so it can be fun and fruitful discussion for all. So today I'll be moderating this talk together with my partner Haziq Hakimi. When Haziq, can you hear my voice, Haziq?
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Apa khabar semua? Minta maaf tadi internet saya yang punya masalah teknikal. So I would like to take this chance to reintroduce myself. My name is Haziq Hakimi bin Zulmai. You can call me Kimi or Haziq. I would like to give plenty of thanks to all the participants, to all 93 participants that has joined our program today. Thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you so much guys.
I know
ramai ni, ramai nak cari kerja ni Dato. Betul tu Dato. Ramai, kita boleh nampak ramai berminat untuk join kita punya talk hari ni Dato. Sebelum kita pergi ke dalam, sebelum kita teruskan program kita ini, saya ingin menceritakan sedikit lah berkaitan dengan guest speaker kita hari ini. Kami ada buat video sedikit untuk tunjuk.
So we have prepared a short video to introduce our guest speaker, Dato Rosthman Ibrahim.
Untuk pengetahuan semua, Dato Rosthman is the co-owner of LaCrista Hotel Melaka. He is also the managing director of Nautical Insight Sendian Berhad. Dato Rosthman is also the director of Neraca Niaga Sendian Berhad. In terms of his education background, Dato mempunyai Master in Business Administration from the University of West Scotland, United Kingdom. Datuk juga merupakan alumni ITM Melaka dan Datuk merupakan ahli kuat pimpin Melaka. Dengan itu saya memperkenalkan kita punya guest speaker, Dato Rosthman, tuan-tuan dan puan.
Big applause guys, berikan tepukan untuk our guest speaker, Dato Rosthman Ibrahim.
Welcome Dato, thank you for being with us.
Alright, thank you for having me here. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Dato', we can hear you loud and clear, Dato'.
Okay.
So, Dato', would you like to share a little bit about your experience and background, Dato', in the tourism and hospitality industry, Dato'?
First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me to become a speaker. In fact, today punya session entitled Graduates of 2020 Get Hired or Stay Jobless kan. So in the tourism industry, it's actually related to what I'm doing now. Yeah, just for clarification, I wish to inform everyone that I was a graduate of ITM Malacca, now known as UiTM Malacca, in the year of 1990, when you were just born. So that's how old I am. After my diploma in business studies, I furthered my studies in USA, and thereafter I did my MBA, which I've just completed recently. So my first involvement in tourism industry started when I was working with a conglomerate group in KL, where we started to venture into hotel industry in London, United Kingdom. So in 2011, I personally went abroad and tried to look for opportunity, and one opportunity came onto me where we were being offered to acquire a hotel in Zone 1, London. It was a 3-star hotel under the brand name of Days. Days is part of Wyndham Group, and Wyndham Group is one of the international brands in the world right now, well renowned. So it's 162 rooms of a 3-star hotel in London, and subsequently, a couple of years after that, we have decided to convert an office block in Kuala Lumpur. I'm not sure whether you know this place. It's called Campbell Complex. So Campbell Complex, yes. Campbell Complex is located in Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman. Yeah.
Right.
So it has 15 story of old offices, where we have undertaken a major refurbishment project where we converted half of the office block into another budget hotel. So we converted 5 floors into 153 rooms of budget hotel. Now it's located in Campbell Complex. It is called the Grand Campbell Complex. That is actually an independent brand, and it wasn't easy initially, yeah, but subsequently we managed to take it off the ground, and it is still operating now. So my involvement in the hotel industry is basically on the top level part, where I'm involved in the acquisition and I'm involved in the creating a new hotel. Yeah, so would that answer your question, Haziq?
Yes, Dato. Thank you.
Oh, yes, yes.
Baiklah Ika.
Ya, Haziq.
Saya rasa patutlah Ika kita teruskan forum kita.
Discussion kita pada hari ni. Baiklah Dato, just now Dato mention about refurbish ataupun mengambil rebranded old bangunan jadikan hotel and stuff like that. So kita orang we are aware that in the 1st January 2020 Dato managed to take over Avillion Legacy Hotel and rebrand the hotel menjadi LaCrista Hotel. Jadi satu benda yang saya perasan kat sini, 1st January 2020 tu Dato, dia dah start the pandemic, the novel coronavirus menyerang Malaysia. The MCO had already started on that time. Jadi Dato, masa tu saya baca statistik kan, 106 hotels terpaksa shut down their business because of the MCO, but Dato managed to rebranded the hotel, LaCrista Hotel masa tu. Jadi how, what's your tips Dato in sustaining the business?
Okay, I guess in a way we are in the same boat, isn't it? So you can say that, you know, you guys will be graduating in 2020, and I took over a hotel in 2020. So both of us, all of us, are basically in a turbulence time now. Yeah, we are during a pandemic, COVID-19, unprecedented situation. Nobody knows how to react. Yeah. Notwithstanding that, well, just as a joke, my neighbour beritahu I, dia kata, you kena mandi bunga lah. because I took the hotel at the wrong time. So I told her, cakap kat dia, I bukan je nak kena mandi bunga, I nak kena mandi satu pokok. Dengan akak-akak dia sekali cabut nak kena mandi. So that's how the situation is, yeah. And I agree with what Syafiqah mentioned just now. Banyak hotel tutup, and how did we manage to stay afloat until now? Now, the answer to that is it was actually a blessing in disguise juga for me, because as you all know, hotel ni dia ada, it's cyclical, yeah. People like to go to new places, yeah. They don't like to stay in old room. Dia tak suka yang masuk bilik bau kapet, yeah. Yes. And then old furnitures, kan. Yes. We have to always be dynamic, that's what a hotel needs to be. So in order for us to be dynamic, there has to be a lot of refurbishment, ongoing projects all the time, so that there will be a new experience every time when guests enter into the hotel. So based on that, I can say that I'm lucky, because when I took over on the 1st January, the main idea was actually to refurbish Pavilion. Yeah. So during that time, I took the opportunity during the COVID-19 and during MCO to do a lot of renovation. There was a lot of construction job being done, and we finally managed to reopen on the 15th of July with some of the guest floors ready to be sold. Yeah. So in a way, when you think about it, you would say that it is actually wrong timing, but I managed to change that into something more meaningful and beneficial to us, where we refurbish, we improve ourselves, yeah, during that time to make ourselves ready and available as a new hotel after the MCO. So that was the plan.
During MCO kan ada banyak hotel tutup, but you took the chance to actually start a new hotel. So I understand macam ramai juga pekerja yang kena lay off at that time kan. So was that an opportunity for you that you actually took them into your hotel, ataupun you actually train new workers or new staff in your hotel?
Again, that is also an opportunity when other hotels close down, and let's let everything out of the cuff. Ramada closed down, yeah, right. And everybody knows that Ramada Malacca is one of the best hotels in Malacca after EQ closed down, right? Okay, can we all agree to that?
Oh, definitely. I miss the dim sum in Ramada.
Right, there you go. So what I've done is that I've managed to persuade, yeah, and managed to get some of the key people in Ramada to join my group. Yeah. So now we have a mixture of Ramada staff and also Pavilion staff to stay under one umbrella of LaCrista. So it is actually also a blessing in disguise, I would say. I'm actually taking an opportunity from other people's misdeed or whatever you want to call it lah,
Yeah. So then, sorry, I sambung satu lagi soalan. So then, okay, we are expecting the whole pandemic probably going to end by maybe middle of next year, or sometimes next year, inshallah. Jadi with you recruiting people from other establishments, so once the travel or tourism pick up again next year, do you foresee that there may be some issues in probably losing your current staff to other hotel, because by that time the demand will be there and people will start jumping around again in terms of employment? So do you foresee this, and how do you plan to overcome this?
Understand. Now, first and foremost, I truly believe that I won't stop anybody from moving around, yeah, because if they think that would be their best personal development or personal growth, then by all means, yeah. Right. But what I can promise them is that we are actually a new brand, and we're not going to stop in just for one hotel in Malacca. Yeah, we're going to continue to grow and perhaps be having other branches. Now, being the pioneer team in Malacca, they have an opportunity to expand their horizon. Yeah, they're probably going to be promoted to a higher level, right? But it all depends on their capabilities and their willingness, yeah, to work harder. Yeah. So to answer your question, I am not afraid that they're going to leave me one day. If they do, by all means, because I think there are abundance of talents out there. Yeah. Most importantly, I need to find a team that would share the same ideology, that share the same dream of LaCrista dream. We are a new brand. It is not just merely a brand. It comes with a lifestyle. Therefore, I started with creating our own tagline. Yeah, our tagline is your personalized lifestyle hotel. So what it means is that, let me just ask you this. If you were to go to Hilton, right? If you go to a hotel, right? You don't know what the hotel, the name of the hotel. If you go into the hotel, an established brand would have certain signature to it, right? For example, if you go to Hilton, then you know that it's a Hilton. If you go to Ritz-Carlton, you know that it's Ritz-Carlton, prim and proper. If you go to St. Regis, you know that somebody will open the door for you wearing suit and whatnot. Yeah. If you go to W Hotel, the environment, the ambience is always dark. Yeah. Right. So it is actually meant for those people who likes, kind of masquerade kind of thing. Yeah, So some of my friends said that it's good for those datuk yang ada mistress kan. If you realize, I'm sharing this with you because you want to know about this.
That's true.
W Hotel, if you realize, dia punya lift tu kan will never be in front of the reception. That means anybody who would go to W Hotel, they don't have to pass through the reception.
I see.
So that's the trick of W lah. And the ambience is always dark,
Dark.
Because dia tak nak orang tahu siapa yang masuk. Yeah.
Right.
Whereas Holiday Inn, they focuses on their pillows. If you go to any Holiday Inn in the world, they would have 4 pillows. 2 day pillows and 2 night pillows.
Wow.
Very interesting.
So if you don't trust me, you can go anywhere at Holiday in the world. Yeah, they would have the same standard. Now,
what about LaCrista?
LaCrista is actually a lifestyle hotel. We do not cater to any category of people.
I see.
We cater to everyone. So what it means is that if you come with small kids, right, we will try to cater to your needs. We know what small kids would be like. They are rowdy, they are noisy, right? And they always need toys to play with. Yeah. Hence, we actually have subscribed to an apps that provide movies, a lot of movies. It's called Rumi. Yeah, and it can be controlled by your handphone. Yeah, by your mobile.
I see.
So when you check in, right, you can sync the TV with your handphone, play whatever movie, yeah, that your kids want to watch, and you can leave them in the room. You can do whatever that you want to do elsewhere. And you can control from your phone actually. Yeah, as long as you are within the reach and using the Wi-Fi of the hotel.
Very high tech, yeah. Very high tech.
Well, it is not so high tech, but it's just that it is available now. So what I'm trying to say is that we are trying to cater to every needs of our client. We do not have we cannot afford to have something like what IHG doing for Holiday Inn. Yeah, what W is doing. Ritz-Carlton is doing. We can't afford to do that because we are a small group and we only have one hotel. So we got to get people. Yeah. For example, IHG Intercontinental Hotel Group, they have Intercontinental being their top brand, and they have Holiday Inn, that caters for businesses and whatnot. Now, to cater the in between Intercontinental and Holiday Inn, they have another brand that caters for all walks of life. Yeah, it's called Indigo. There is no Indigo brand in Malaysia, but Indigo is available, outside Malaysia. I've stayed in Indigo Barcelona. The room, it's not stereotype. I'm sure that you're all being taught, in UiTM, that for a 5-star hotel there is actually a minimum requirement of room size. Betul?
Right.
So for Indigo it's different. Indigo, they have various types of room and various sizes of room. So they created this brand called Indigo. Indigo is actually meant mainly for it's not a purpose built but refurbished hotel, meaning it used to be office, then they refurbish it into a hotel. So they cannot get certain standard, therefore they use Indigo that can cater for all kind of standards.
So at the moment, LaCrista is at what star?
Okay, we are a 5-star hotel, because our rooms basically meet the minimum requirement for a 5-star hotel. Minimum requirement for 5-star hotel rooms is 30 square meter. Our smallest room is 31 square meter. So we meet that requirement, and we are in the midst of getting ourselves rated, and we are looking at 5-star. This hotel used to be known as Pan Pacific way back in 1998 when it was first opened. So Pan Pacific was actually a 5-star hotel.
Right.
When Avillion took over, Avillion is actually a 4-star hotel, because at that point of time that was the right strategy to venture into a hotel brand that can cater for all walks of life, and it is affordable.
Right.
Let me share with you what I've prepared for all of you. Let's look at the table of content, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to be discussing. I'm going to share with you the framework so that you understand where I'm going to. To talk about whether there's an issue in the employability of fresh graduates or not, then we should be looking at the statistic, right? So we know where we are and where we're heading to. Then we then zoom into the challenges in the tourism and hospitality industry itself. Then after that, we're going to be looking at the key challenges of what you guys are going to be facing. So the question that you guys ask would be, did you graduate at the wrong time? Then we'll be looking at the borderless world. What does it mean? Is it actually an opportunity or a threat to you? Then we're going to be looking at our own culture and hospitality as well, because it plays an integral part in the tourism and hospitality industry. That is what differentiates us with the Westerners. Last but not least, I'm also going to give you a little bit of hint and also some recommendation, I would say, or since I'm already an old guy kan, so orang kata nasihat orang tua-tua lah. My advice to you.
Saya tak join
I know. So I'm just talking about myself. So I'm gonna give you my suggestion. What can you do to make yourself outstanding? Against the rest.
Right.
Okay. So let's look at quickly. The key employment statistic, which is basically very prevalent and straightforward for us to understand.
Right.
So if you look at, first and foremost, we need to understand what is labor force. So if you can look at the definition of labor force, this is being done by the Department of Statistics Malaysia. So the definition itself, it's a working age of 15 to 64 years old. So these are the labor force available in Malaysia. So when you talk about the number of labor force, it has to fall within this range. Otherwise, it's going to be the whole population of Malaysia. So I've made a comparison between year 2019 and 2020, and the latest available figure is as at August. So as you can see, the labor force increased slightly, from 15.7 to 15.9 million people. So if you look at the employability, right, you can see that the employability reduced in terms of percentage and in terms of numbers.
Right.
And if you can look at, hence the unemployment increased from 3.3% to 4.7%. So it basically says that whatever that Haziq was saying just now is a correct data or correct information. It is true that we are actually facing a lot of problems, unemployment increase, and hence it makes it more difficult for fresh graduates to get job, because you're going to be fighting with other people to get, a smaller supply of jobs. So that's quite clear, right?
Right.
Okay. So
Clear, Dato.
I don't have to explain on this.
Dato, can I ask a question, please? So, Dato, as you can see here, the unemployment rate this year is 4.7%. So, in actuality, is 4.7% unemployment rate a good number or a bad figure compared to the other developed nations in the world? Okay.
The acceptable unemployment rate should be below 4. So that is the standard that is being agreed by everyone across the world. So if you were to compare us with other developed countries, they might be having their own issues. But to me, during this COVID-19 time, we shouldn't care about other country, because we ourselves would have to take care of ourselves, right? So and plus the way the industry going to work out is going to be totally different, with the border being shut down, and even if it opens up, I was told in January they're going to start to open up our border to some of our neighborhood countries, but it is still not going to be the same. We still need to rely on local tourism. We still need to rely on domestic market. So the question is, would we be able to sustain on our own? So that's more relevant question that we should be asking. And personally, I would give you an answer straight away based on my own opinion, right? In Malacca, I would say yes. In Malacca, I would say yes, we can rely on domestic market. In 2019, the Tourism Malacca estimated there were about 80 million visitors in Malacca, and they are domestic local tourists that comes to Malacca. So they took this statistic from the traffic going in all the 3 toll plaza. So that's how they managed to get 80 million statistic. Now these are domestic numbers of tourists, whereas at the same corresponding period, which is actually in 2019, the number of foreign tourists that came to Malacca was only 15 million. So it is obvious that Malacca relies on local tourism.
Local tourism.
Yes. Now, does it work well for us? I think if you were to go out last weekend in Malacca, what did you see? A lot of cars, isn't it? Last weekend.
Yes.
Or did you go out?
I'm
A lot of
not here.
There you go.
Most of the participants are not in Malacca.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the rest, please ask your friends who stayed in Malacca. Last weekend, Malacca was packed with cars. We have a lot of people coming in, to stay over the weekend. And even my hotel, we recorded close to 90% occupancy rate.
Oh wow, that's high, huh?
Yes, it was fantastic.
That's pretty high.
Yes. So, but obviously, during weekdays, the numbers reduce significantly because they all go back, they got to work and whatnot.
Right.
So that's with regards to the statistic and to answer your question, Haziq.
Thank you.
So can we move on to the next slide?
Sure.
Yes, please, Dato.
Sure, Dato.
Okay, I will just continue. So if you look at the employment market outlook, short term, 2020, how does it look like? I would say it's challenging and very difficult. It's just as simple as that. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. So it's not going to be easy for you guys. Let me tell you that. Yeah, I'm not going to what do you call that? Quoting myself with something nice for you to hear or to listen to. Yeah, I'm just being frank with you. Short term, 2021, challenging, very difficult. Yeah.
Right.
So, anybody disagree with this statement? I mean,
I think
I can feel it's very challenging.
I think we all can agree that it's going to be very
We
challenging.
can relate to this, and we are getting really tired staying at home actually, facing our laptop every day. So we really need an excuse to go out right now, Dato. So
You can always come over to my hotel. We have a lot
that's
of
right.
new
That's the
restaurants.
only place yang I can actually hang out. Very close to me right now, even near to my office. So
Right, fantastic. So if you can move on to the next slide, yeah. I'm going to share with you, the item number 2, key challenges in tourism and hospitality industry. Yeah, let's look at the impact of COVID-19. Yeah, just to back up my argument just now. In the first 2 months of MCO, the hotel saw lost about 3.4 billion ringgit. Yeah, just for the first 2 months of MCO. It's a lot.
this is like throughout the world, throughout the world.
No, this is Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia alone.
Yeah, Malaysia alone.
Oh,
It's quite a
wow.
lot.
No wonder most of the workers are being retrenchment and lay off. And
Yes.
Because
Wow.
during the period of MCO, the hotels, even though it falls under the they call it essential industry, yeah, but we dare not to take in new guests. So whomever are staying with the hotel, they can continue stay in the hotel, yeah, but they couldn't go out. Yeah, they have to stay in, have everything inside the hotel. Yeah, but most hotel could not get new guests, because who would want to travel? They are not allowed to travel anyway. Yeah?
Right.
Therefore, all the hotels recorded losses, and that losses accumulated to the 3.4 billion ringgit for the first 2 months. And it's just hotels. If you look at the tourism players, yeah, which has been defined as transportation, accommodation, event businesses, yeah, and also restaurant. For the first from January to March, they have lost about 9 billion ringgit. So that's how much money are lost during this 3 months period. Yeah. So that is evident by 60% loss in tourism businesses and 15% of hotel to be closed in 2020 this year. And I think
Are we keeping hotel closed down ni, Dato, as like permanent atau temporary? Hotel closed down ni sekarang.
okay. Of course, all of them would say it's temporary, yeah. But bear in mind, to restart hotel operation takes a lot of effort, money, yeah, and there's a lot of work that you need to do, right? Because once you close down, right, then your guests, your existing guests, would have gone somewhere else, yeah.
Right.
Then obviously when you going to reopen, right, and you want to attract them back, yeah, you got to bear in mind that their loyalty has gone somewhere else.
True. Right.
So if you're gonna get new client, right, and if you're lucky, then you can get them, but at what cost? Because to get new customers to come to your place costs you a lot more than retaining an existing client. Yeah, because you got to do promotion, a lot of promotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Understand.
So to answer your question just now, Win, yeah, some of the hotel will remain closed forever. I wouldn't know what the owner wants to do. Probably the owner would want to sell it and get a new player to come in. And in most cases, I think that's what will happen. Yeah.
Right.
For temporary closure hotel, if they want to reopen, right, they would have to rebrand the hotel. because obviously the stigma will be there. You know, this hotel has been closed for whatever reason. It was closed. So if the owner remains the same, and if he wants to restart the hotel, I would think it has to be rebranded. That's the best strategy. Right. Because you want to create new faith.
Understand.
Yeah. So if you look at the some statistic which I've showed in item 2.2, right? So you can see in January the occupancy rate has started to go down, and from March to June you can see the numbers are quite staggering and it's quite alarming. Yeah. So it has reduced to even 6%, below 10%. And I can share with you in Malacca, even in the month of September, and also October, the occupancy rate has reduced to less than 10%.
In the month of September.
Yeah, in the month of September, the average industry was doing about 15%, and in October, it falls below 10%. It's only about 8.5%. Reason being, in October, they started to do RMCO or CMCO. Is it CMCO in Klang Valley?
MCO.
Yeah. So because of the CMCO in Klang Valley, a lot of cancellation were made. Yeah. Hence, that resulted to the hotel in Malacca facing a drop in occupancy rate. So it fell below 10%.
Was that symptom during MCO or better?
That is slightly better. During MCO, you can see that the occupancy rate is about 6%. Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
Now, in October, it slightly increased, but because of the CMCO in Klang Valley, it reduced to 8.5%. Slightly better.
Yeah, because despite the fact that Malacca was probably on a greener zone at that time, and Selangor was on a red zone. Even when I go to Coconut Shake, Bang pun dia kosong sebab apparently most of their customers are from KL. Apparently, so it was empty. It was completely empty. Although we are allowed to travel, so it was actually the best time for Malacca to explore all the tourist attraction lah sebenarnya. Because we don't usually go out over the weekend. So I feel like during the CMCO, I was really free to go everywhere. You know. Right.
Yeah. But it's not a good thing for
it's not
for the industry player.
I was being selfish.
Dato.
Yeah.
Dato, based on the data that you have provided, Dato, we can see that COVID-19 have greatly impacted the tourism industry, Dato. So a lot of hotels have been closed down. A lot of the tourism industry players have closed shop, Dato. So in your opinion, Dato, what do you think is going to happen in the foreseeable future, and how long will it take to actually recover from COVID-19, Dato?
Okay. So, if you talk about Malacca, if you talk about the island in Malaysia, if you talk about Penang, things would be different. Yeah, because we rely on domestic market, especially Malacca. We rely on domestic market more than the international market, as opposed to hotels in KL. Yeah, as opposed to hotel in KK. They're going to face greater challenges. Yeah, because they rely on international market. Yeah, right. Just imagine, would Mandarin Oriental be selling their room at 150 ringgit per night? It doesn't make sense, you know.
I will be there for 1 month.
There you go. Yeah, but let me tell you that it's not going to happen. So MO will never going to drop down the price to 50 ringgit per night. Yeah? So it's different from one region to the other. That's my humble opinion. Yeah. So it will remain to be challenging. Yeah. Especially for the market that relies on foreign tourists. Yeah.
So how do you think from now until whatever time you feel that we are probably going to come back to normal in terms of our local travels. You know.
I would think next year is still going to be a slow year for the tourism and hospitality industry. Some experts are saying it will take about a couple of years, for everything to remain back to normal. So that means we're looking at 2023 for things to be, to come back to normal.
Dato' cakap kan it takes around 3 years for the industry to recover, untuk reviving balik.
At least
3 years at least, yang paling kurang tu. Jadi kita orang yang new norm graduates ni, yang dah nak graduate dan dah nak habis belajar ni, what should we do, Dato'? What kita orang nak kena prepare apa ni, Dato', nak menghadapi situasi industri yang sememangnya sangat mencabar.
Okay.
Very intense competition.
I will answer your question, Syafiqah, in in my upcoming slides. Because I'm giving you some tips, how you can be outstanding as compared to other graduates. Okay, how's that? Okay. So, if you look at the next slide, the key challenges for you guys. Did we graduate at the wrong time? The answer is no. As I said to you, right? When I bought over this hotel, it was in 2020. So it was the same time when you are going to graduate. Are we doing it during the right time or the wrong time? Yeah. So I would say that there is no such thing as right time or wrong time. Even let's assume this. Assume that the industry is booming, right? As a new player, I come in and I want to refurbish the hotel, right? And I did my refurbishment. During the refurbishment, there is no way that I can fill up my hotel because it's under refurbishment, correct? And by the time the refurbishment completes, the tourists would have gone somewhere else already by then.
Right.
Because it's a booming time, right? So similarly, in your case, right, when the industry is at its peak, it's going to be more difficult for you to get jobs because you've got to compete with other graduates who are not from the industry. As an employer, if I want to take in staff, I would find those yang outstanding one. First, I would give due consideration to those who graduate from the industry, from relevant courses.
Right.
But if the time is so good and someone came over and bagi tahu I kata, I've worked 5 years. I graduated in business studies, for example, and I have 5 years experience working in some cheap hotel and whatnot, right? And with 5 years experience, I'm willing to get pay equivalent to the fresh graduates from the hotel tourism faculty. Now, who do you think I would choose? Someone with 5 years experience, same price with you. Because the industry is so good that other graduates from other faculty would also want to join in the bandwagon. So there is no such thing as good time or bad time. Now the next question that you should ask yourself would be, what do you do? If it is not a wrong time, what can you do? The option is always there, right? As I pointed out, you can continue your studies, right, to higher level, professional qualification, perhaps not just masters, right? You can also choose to start up your own business. So that's another option for you to. And obviously the third one would be job hunting.
Job hunting.
And job hunting would be, you guys got to be the new norm graduate. Now this is what I'm going to touch in my subsequent slides.
Right.
So you have these 3 options. And obviously staying jobless is not an option lah. You see, but what I found out about the new graduates the millennial punya youngsters they are different. Money is not the main issue here.
Yes.
So they will always go based on their interest. Money will be secondary already because they have what they want. Actually, the basic needs are already there.
That's true.
So when you look at our industry, kan, I urge you to look at Southeast Asia or even for that matter Asia as our market. Jangan tengok Malaysia aja, because Malaysia is actually pretty small. So the question is, how do you penetrate or how do you make yourself known, kan, to this kind of market? Now I think that one would require another session, yeah, and also it involves on the supply and demand of manpower, yeah, because Malaysian pun sekarang ni dia kata kita kekurangan tenaga kerja yang berkaliber lah, dia kata lah kan. Sebab itu we have a lot of talent corp started to bring back those talent from overseas kan, to come back to Malaysia, all those expatriates. So that's what it means by borderless world, and it also means that if these people from Singapore can start to come into Malaysia, they would also going to bring in their manpower as well, because this court kan, dia tak harapkan local saja.
Right.
Ya, dia akan bawa dia punya manpower daripada Indonesia, daripada Thailand, which are basically cheaper as compared to local market, even though they are expatriates. Kan?
Right.
So, whether you see this as a threat ataupun you see this as an opportunity where you have all these foreign investor that comes into Malaysia and would use local expertise to help them to run their businesses. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a direct answer to that. Yeah.
Okay.
And another key challenges that you should be looking at would be the Eastern culture and hospitality. Yeah, I always tell people, even all my staff, that how do you fare yourself against our neighboring countries, the Indonesians, the Thai, the Filipino, and Vietnamese. Based on HSBC survey, right? The best city, to visit in the year 2019 and 2020, you rasa the best country to visit in the year 2019 and 2020, you rasa which country? In
worldwide?
Yeah, in ASEAN alone.
ASEAN, I think it's
in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asian,
I think it was Thailand.
You kata Thailand, Haziq.
I thought it's Indonesia. No?
Indonesia, Azwin
Indonesia
kata
or
lagi.
Thailand. Between those two.
Syafiqah?
Sedangkan saya Malaysian kan Dato', saya di
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Dia kata Malaysia. So, the right answer is Philippines. The Philippines. Yeah.
Wow.
Philippines.
Wow.
That was unexpected.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that.
According
Because we have less Malaysians travelling to Philippines, for that matter. Because most of my friends travel to Philippines for diving. So it's like a niche market, not for the mass tourism.
Right. The HSBC studies says that the Filipinos are very friendly. They are friendly towards tourists. Not just because they have beautiful beaches and they've got exquisite culture, but the people itself. So that's the main attraction for people to go to the Philippines. So Malaysia is not named at all. But actually we are lucky because we are actually above Singapore. Personally, I would think we should focus on niche market, right? So Tourism Malaysia has done a fantastic job by promoting Malaysia in Middle East. Yeah.
Right.
So the Middle East country or people love to come to Malaysia because we have different culture, right? And in terms of food, there is no problem for us to find food. And in terms of the environment, it is more conducive to them because most of these Middle Eastern people that come to Malaysia are basically families, and family they are a bit more subtle kan. Dia nak tempat for their kids to shop. Yeah, we have KLCC, we have Pavilion. They like to go to those places. And one thing about them is that they like to have their own food. So sebab itu kita ada Arab Street, dekat
Yes, betul.
kan. So we don't need to do whatever the Thais are doing, whatever the Indonesians are doing. Yeah, rather we should have our own niche market with our own culture. We need to promote that. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. But at the same time, kita punya resources pun tak banyak.
Right.
And lepas tu we shift our market Middle East kan, we no longer target Western, then kita target the Chinese. Chinese have started to come kan. And do you know that in Malacca, right, in in 2019, the Chinese are the largest tourists that come to Malacca. They are actually 5 times bigger as compared to Singaporean being number 2. Indonesia number 3.
Right.
So the number of Chinese that come to Malacca and also Malaysia has been in the rising, yeah, and we are doing a good thing to get them to come here. And the good thing about the Chinese from China ni, when they come to Malaysia, they know, the first thing that they know about Malaysia is Malacca. Because of our history, long history with them. Right. If you look at the stand-up tips, this is very important. If you decided to go job hunting, right? So this is what you should have. Number 1, quantitative factors. Now, what do I mean by this? I'll give you an example. If you are the best student, right, in your faculty tourism ada berapa ramai orang?
In KBM alone ada almost 300 lah.
Almost, okay, katakan you ada 300 people kan, 300 students over there. Now, you know that you always rank number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So what you should mention is that I am in the top 3% of my class.
Wow.
Yeah. So what does it mean? It shows that you are outstanding. You tipu orang ke? You tak tipu orang, betul tak?
Tak tipu.
Tak tipu.
So bila you cakap you are in the top 3%, you are in the top 5%, kan, you tak bagi tahu berapa ramai orang pun sebenarnya. You just bagi tahu percentage je. So dia bunyi dia macam you are so good. Betul tak? That's what you should do. You should quantify everything that you do. So that people, macam saya cakap lah, I punya occupancy rate 90% over the weekend kan. You tak tanya pun I berapa banyak bilik I ada. If you compare ourselves with Hatton, for example, Hatton total number of rooms that they have in Malacca 2,000.
Wow.
Yeah?
Wow.
230 aja.
Wow.
So I punya 90% pun is not equivalent to 10% of dia orang punya apa ni.
You mean Hatton next to Double 3?
Yes. So Hatton Place belongs to them. Yeah. Double 3 is also belongs to Hatton.
I see.
Hatton is another hotel. Lepas
So
tu
it's a combination lah.
Combination.
Right.
I'm talking about Hatton Group, yeah.
Right.
I'm not talking about
Right.
Hatton Hotel. I'm talking about Hatton Group.
I see.
So you tak tanya pun 90% I berapa banyak bilik, betul tak? But it sounds
Right.
so, wow, that's good kan? Pertama lah, I've done the trick on you lah tadi. So similarly, you should have done the same trick with your potential employer. So my first tip to you, quantitative. Quantify yourself. Put yourself where you belong. Kalau you tak dapat 5% kan, you are in the other segment kan, cari segmen apa yang you boleh quantify yourself to be in the top 10%. Apa-apalah, I leave it to you. Katakan you terror main bola kan, you are in the football team kan, and then you cerita lah, you cakap you are a football player for UiTM and we are ranked top 5 kan, in UiTM Malaysia. You understand what I'm saying? So you all quantify yourself and make yourself look great.
I see.
Kalau you first, you are the first, you are the champion, you beritahu lah you are the champion. That one is, siapa nak argue kan? But if you are not,
Betul?
okay, so faham
Faham.
Okay, that tip number 1. Now tip number 2,
Menarik Dato'.
yeah, you have to have portfolio. When you go for interview, right, always bring portfolio with you. Now, portfolio ni apa dia? If you win any awards, yeah, ambil gambar, tunjukkan dekat dalam, put in your file, because these are more important than whatever that you write in your CV. Kan? So dapat menang hadiah, whatever hadiah lah, menang, even if you have like national award ke lagi bagus kan. So you're gonna stand out. Katakan kalau you tak menang award lah, katakan sorry lah, I ni introvert ya, so I tak menang apa-apa award, that's fine, successful project. For example, okay, I buat logo for this company, walaupun company tu your parents punya kan, tak kisah. Cakap I created this logo for you, and then lepas tu I created this tagline, I did a menu, I did semua, you tunjuk lah. Even t-shirt pun, okay, I buat t-shirt. Then last but not least, social media. Social media is very important.
Right.
When you go for your interview, don't be shy to carry your handphone with you. Cuma put it silent mode lah. Jangan bagi tengah tu tiba-tiba mak telefon kan, cakap kucing belum makan. Don't do that. So what you should do is that you share your social media with your interviewer, provided you have a good social media.
Right.
What do you mean by good social media? You tunjuk you punya IG, you kata dia, okay, I sebenarnya I susun dia punya IG so that I punya gambar looks attractive. How it looks attractive? This is the reason. Contoh, my background. I always make sure that my background cerah so that it will show that that's my personality, that I'm a jovial person. Therefore, I punya background semua cerah. Even waktu malam pun nampak cerah. You understand? So, you are basically telling your interviewer that you have personality.
Right.
Now, if you are a gothic person, right, do the same lah, semuanya gelap lah. I'm not saying that you are wrong. There are some employers that will be looking for this kind of character. Betul?
Right.
There you go. So you understand what I'm saying by social media, Then before you show your IG, so that people would know. You all punya level IG lah kan, I FB because I otai kan. I tak reti sangat IG ni.
Saya pun bukan FB Datuk, saya IG sebab saya masih muda. Macam age student.
Okay. We are in different era. So
Different era.
tips number 3. Now, this is a good one. Gig graduate. Anybody tahu tak apa makna gig graduate ni? Now, it comes from gig economy. Do you understand what is gig economy tak? Okay, what is gig? GIG ni.
Try, testing.
Yes. So gig ni kan, as I said, I put it there, try me out. So normally gig graduate kan, you don't go for long term. You pergi interview, you cakap kat dia kan, katakan dia macam okay, half-hearted ke apa kan, then you pergi kat dia, why don't you take me as your gig employee? Dia pun, what is gig employee? You test me out, pay me just a little bit for me to survive, right? If I manage to do whatever that you ask me to do, then you take me in. Give me 6 months contract. I'm willing to prove to you that I can do it. So gig economy is actually the same economy that you only look at the trend on masa tu kan, apa orang suka. Dia macam ni lah, kalau you perasan macam all this multi-level marketing, cosmetic, product and whatnot kan, so they always bring out new things. Datuk Sri Vida for example, I live right. Kan? So they always have new product that they want to show, because kalau dia jual satu produk aja nak bagi orang putih kan, habislah. Macam mana orang yang dah putih, dia nak buat apa lagi? Dia kata okay, aku dah putih, cukup lah. Then dia kata okay, untuk kurus pula, then dia bagi buat kurus pula. Then lepas kurus tu okay, bagi untuk sihat pula untuk orang tua. Then different target.
Right.
So everything under ku putih, tapi different product. So that's gig economy, and that's what I meant by gig graduate. You understand what I'm saying? In your case kan, bagi tahu dia, kata okay, do you have certain tasks to finish? I can do this. You don't have to give me permanent job. I'll take 6 months. I'll complete it within 6 months. Then you can actually decide whether you want to take me in or kick me out. People. And trust me, most employer would like that, because dekat Malaysia ni, for your information, being an employer for so long kan, kita takut dengan labour court, labour office. So bila kita nak buang staff, so difficult. Even though the staff memang sendu. Kan, so susah nak buang dia orang. So bila kita buang dia orang kan, then they take us to labor office.
Yeah.
Dia tak ada kerja, kita ada kerja. Right? So if someone comes to me and say that, look, try me out. Right? If I'm good, you take me in permanently. Not, I'll leave. Senang. Yeah, that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, recommendation. Now, recommendation is by someone who knows the employer. Now, this is very important. Extremely important. Yeah. So, if I get someone yang highly recommended by Azwin, yeah, to come and work in LaCrista, obviously I will take you in. You dah 50% successful dah. Kan? Sebab I know, Azwin will not going to introduce to me someone yang half-baked. For example, yeah, if you have an uncle who's working with I don't know, maybe another hotel, for example, kan? And then if your dad call your uncle and tell your uncle, look, I have a son here, just graduated, kan? Kau ambil lah anak buah kau ni. What do you think that he would do? Dia akan ambil kan?
Ambil.
So do recommendation.
Yeah,
Recommendation is very important.
Recommendation.
Yeah, so that's my tips number 4. Tapi kalau you tak ada number 4 ni, kan? Then number 1, 2, 3, I think will be good enough. And the event that you feel that no, I don't want any help from anybody, I want to stand on my 2 own feet, kan? By all means, you should do that.
Right.
Yeah. And last but not least, for graduates, you must have exemplary attitude. Yeah, what I mean by that is that modesty. Yeah. You jangan pergi interview dekat satu tempat and then you cerita buruk pasal tempat tu walaupun tempat tu memang buruk. Yeah, you have to say something nice. Kan? Kena cari benda yang bagus. Because the last thing that your potential employer wants is to listen to you teaching them what they need to do. For example, you datang, I masuk hotel ni, I tengok dia macam tak ada life lah. Macam tu. Kan? So, as a potential employer kan, I would think, then why the heck are you here? Kan? So, as potential employer, we think that, okay, do you think that you, as fresh graduate, can actually bring life to my property? Where I have 100 staff, under me, who's been trying to do that all this while? Betul tak?
Betul.
So, the key word here is modesty. Yeah? Now, next, lagi satu, sure can one. This is the kind of attitude that you need to have.
Yes.
Kan.
Can you work at 12 o'clock midnight? Can.
Can.
Can you work over the weekend? Obviously, no problem. Sure can one.
Can.
So just
Puan Azwin pagi can. Ni Tasya post lagi can.
So you need to have this kind of attitude. Now, kalau dekat Indonesia, if you go to Indonesia kan, the first thing that they would say, bisa pak. Semuanya bisa.
Yeah.
The Indonesian, they have been taught, right, that they cannot say no or tak tahu. Even though they don't know. Dia akan kata, ya, bisa pak.
Right.
Yes. I pernah naik taxi, dia bawa I pusing, Jakarta, 3 round. I cakap, I've been to this place before. Tadi baru lalu kan. Rupanya dia tak tahu jalan. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Is that right?
Yeah. So a friend of mine missed the flight because the taxi driver terlupa jalan nak pergi ke airport.
Are you serious? Oh
yes,
my god.
and he was trying to find shortcut to go to the airport because of the macet, traffic jam. Yeah. So Indonesian, they are like that. And benda ni is upbringing, yeah, it's upbringing. So I'm not saying that we should follow them. What I'm saying is that we should have this kind of attitude. Yeah. In the worst case scenario, I'll definitely want to do this, but give me some time to find ways how I can do it effectively. Okay. So you have to use your word correctly lah. Yeah. And last but not least, open-minded. Open-minded maknanya you guys have just graduated, yeah, and you don't have any vast experience, yeah, working life. So you have to be open-minded to look at other culture, because let me tell you a little secret that being in universities, yeah, and being in a working environment is two different worlds altogether. Yeah, so you have to be open-minded to accept new things and to learn new things. Yeah, that you were unable to learn when you were studying. So yeah, so I guess with that, I would end my session. Thank you very much. If you look at my
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih Dato'.
Can we have like 1 or 2 questions from the floor, Dato'?
Yeah.
Saya rasa
Okay.
pun banyak student kita yang
Okay, ada participant ni nak tanya soalan ni. So can we
you share
get
my last slide? Can you share my last slide?
last slide? Yes, definitely.
Ada. Okay, thank you very much. Kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida.
Wow,
So that's
very
the trend
Korean.
now. I was told.
It's a trend, yes. Ini semua ni K-pop fans ni dalam ni.
Yeah.
Semua K-pop fans, definitely.
Alright.
Terima kasih sekali lagi Dato'. Kita orang very grateful and thankful lah for your appearance in our today's talk session. Saya rasa our participants memang dapat banyak useful information sebab yelah Dato' sendiri pun memang orang daripada industri tu kan. Jadi again Dato' terima kasih banyak-banyak and of course thank you to all participants, 73 participants yang stay with us throughout this 2-hour talk session. We are very grateful for your support.
I have done justice to you all. I thank you very much for inviting me to your talk. Yeah, and let's meet up again. Yeah,
Inshallah.
whether it's online or you can drop by my hotel. I'm here most of the time anyway. So see you guys soon.
Thank you so much, Dato'. Thank you for being with us today.
Okay.
I think everyone in participating this evening this morning punya session dah afternoon dah pun.
Right.
They have learned a lot from I think those tips that you gave them. It's going to be really helpful.
Right.
Especially the gig thing. That one is something new for me. I think you really should explore that and make use of that in order to market yourself when you are actually looking for work. So that will be, we have come to the end of the session. Tapi before kita habis, kita nak tunjuk sikit lah hotel Dato'. Tapi we will stop here. But there will be music and some of the photos that I took. I didn't take very nice picture hari tu Dato'.
Okay.
Dato' hari tu nak tunjuk gambar hotel. So I'm just going to show the new remodeled room, the one that we have collected sekarang. Okay. Assalamualaikum everybody. Have a nice day. I will be seeing you very soon. See you ya Dato'. I will see you very soon.
Okay, bye. Iqbal sempat make up tak?
Iqbal
lagi.
Iqbal pergi make up. Cepat Iqbal. Dia memang macam tu Dato'. Dia kalau ni tak sempat make up.
Okay, to our participants.
semua minta
Okay, kita harap partisipan kita yang dah lama dengan kita boleh buka lah kamera untuk kita sama-sama dalam photography session.
Alright, we're going to take photo now. Okay, semua look your best and
Okay, smile everyone.
Okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3, smile.
Thank you.
Let's go.